Yo, what's up, world? It is your boy Tricky Ricky, and these are my 2 cents now. All right, so look, guys, here we are, video number 2. And this video is still an overview. And in this overview, we will be covering Ardour version 5 again. Yes, again. But today, we're going to make things a little bit more interesting. We're going to create a customized session template for the RodeCaster Pro podcast interface. We're going to find out the scientific footprint for this said device, and then we're going to create a session template. It's very easy to do. And then we can use this session template to either A, record directly to the computer, B, send our recorded podcast from the device to the computer, or C, we record simultaneously to the car and the computer. I'm not sure why in the hell we would want to have 2 recordings of the same podcast, but this is still a very helpful tutorial. So without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and switch it over to my overview. Look. All right, so we're going to open up Ardour version 5. Session setup. Let's create a new session, guys. Okay, so we're going to use an empty template. All right, and I'll show you why. We don't need any other templates. If you look at my screen, you'll see that I have RodeCaster Pro on here already. I created a session template, but it was basically based off a podcast that I did, and it carried the name on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this setup here to create my own session template from scratch. Alrighty, so let's create an empty template. We're going to call this template RodeCaster Pro template. Alrighty, so we're going to click open. Before we start, guys, if you guys are trying to go along with me right now, or if you're going to do this later, please listen carefully. Whatever you do before you create your session template and before you start Core Audio or your Pro Audio application open, please turn all your sliders down. Please mute every channel strip you have. Please turn the sound pads down. Please turn your volume knobs down. Not just your overall, but your headphones. This can save your hearing. This can save your devices, speakers. You catch my drift? Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and click open. Here we are, Core Audio. It is stopped. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on the device control panel. So if you look at the audio devices here, you see we have 2 devices for RodeCaster Pro. We have 2 different types of setups. In setup number 1, it is just the basic stereo setup, where everything on the RodeCaster Pro is passed through a left and right, and that left and right is bused to the master out, which is a stereo. You have 2 mono, 1 stereo, 2 channels, 3 signals. All right. RodeCaster multi-channel. This is where you need to click to find out what is the actual footprint for RodeCaster Pro. So as you look closely, we're working at a default source at a format of 48,000 hertz, 14 channel, 24-bit integer. If you look at the master stream, we're going to have a total of 15 channels. We're going to have 1 stereo channel, and the rest of them are going to be mono. Look, we have master, left, and right. These 3 channels are the same channels, because if you look here and here, that's these right there. All right, so the first 3 channels are master input channels. We're going to have the master stereo. We're going to have master left, master right on channels 2 and 3. I'm sorry. 3, 4, 5, 6 is going to be mic 1, mic 2, mic 3, mic 4. USB channel left, USB channel right. TRRS left, TRRS right. That's your auxiliary channels. Bluetooth left, Bluetooth right. Sounds left, sounds right. For some odd reason, guys, I thought that these channels pads on the channel script would be corresponding to their own individual channel. It'll make the session a much bigger, but I expected those to be spread out, but I do understand why every single channel on the channel pads are routed to sounds left, right. I have to play around inside the companion app to see whether if the pads can, the volume on it or the velocity on it can be tweaked. I have to check on that. If not, Rode, if you're listening, please give us the ability to control the volume of the pad volume. All right. If it exists already, please disregard. All right. All right. So we're going to close this window, guys, and we're going to go ahead and start. All righty. So as Ardour loads up, we're going to see what it's going to do. And here we are. Alrighty, so it's empty. We're going to go in and create. We have our master fader over there. So I told you we need 15, so we're only going to need 14 channels. Add track bus or VCCA. We need audio tracks. We need a total of 14 of these bad boys. Audio, we're not going to name those. I'm going to leave those alone because apparently they will be populated once the session is created. Alrighty, mono. Because the stereo channel is the master fader, which is already here. We don't have to add that already. Okay, so let's go ahead and mono. We're not going to group it. Record mode is going to be normal. Pen mode, if you have it on strict audio, it's going to give you some sort of problem. So what I always do is I go and put it on flexible in and out so that way I have minimal issues out of this thing. So we're going to add and close. Woo. Looks like we have a red on the USB channels. See, I told you guys, if you left your volume all the way up, that probably would have scared the crap out of you, probably blown your speakers out. So that's the reason why I suggested that you turn everything down, all right? So I guess we can adjust the volume on these things here, and we can get it to calm down a little bit, and yes, it did. Tuning the volume down helps a lot. So actually, I don't need a USB channel unless I'm feeding music into this computer. Alrighty, so we got that set up. All right, so we know that this right here is going to be left 1, right 2, mic 1, mic 2, mic 3, mic 4, USB left, USB right, TRRS left, TRRS right. We have Bluetooth left, Bluetooth right, sounds left, sounds right, master fader out. You see how easy that was? Alrighty, so you can come in and rename your channel. You can name it whatever. So if this is left, I'll just call this and left. And I just go on and on and on and on. So that concludes this overview of how to create a session template for Ardour or for any digital audio workstation that you use. I know that I'm going to be basing a lot of my videos on the digital audio workstation called Ardour, of course, but this can apply to any digital audio workstation apparently, okay? You saw how easy it was. I started it. Before I started my core audio, I selected the multi-channel. And then once I select the multi-channel, I started it. And then when I started it, I created the channels by creating new tracks, all mono tracks, total of 14. And when I created them, it automatically set the channels up all the way across the board. It was fairly easy, fairly painless. And again, just make sure you have your volume knobs turned down, everything muted on microphones, USB, Bluetooth, etc. Because with the USB slider, guys, if you have it up too loud, It will definitely give you feedback, or if you have it up too high while you're recording, it will introduce latency to the recording. So either you would have to mute the channels on the digital audio workstation itself. You would hear it in your headphones, but you won't hear it in the computer because it's kicking back out. All right. So if you have any opinions or thoughts, or would like to see me explain further about any parts of this video or this tutorial or how to create templates, feel free to comment down below. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and please turn on the notification bell and give your boy a thumbs up, because this is Tricky Ricky. Or is it? Yeah, those were my 2 cents.